It's time to share one of the hardest stories and chapters in my life. And I'm already getting choked up. So, um, no rehearsed lines here, no script, just myself, my memory, and doing my best to talk about this unapologetically because nothing that I do, you guys, is centered around just helping myself. It's definitely with the intent to encourage other people and to help other people see the light where there may be, some places where you're not paying attention, some places that you may not give a lot of time to. That's my job, is to shed light in certain areas that's going to bring people out of a space or encourage you to know that you're not alone. So in 2022, I want to start there because we can go all the way back if we want to, but we're going to go back to 2022 when things were significantly changing in my life. So in 2022, I'm just going to list the things that began to challenge me with health and faith and my social life. So for those of you all that may be able to relate to one or two of these things, then you know how serious it can scare you, concern you, the whole nine. It can make you feel some type of way. So I'm just going to list those things and let's start here. I was diagnosed in 2022 with hypertension. I was also diagnosed with extreme anxiety and PTSD. I was also suffering, unbeknownst to me, didn't have the terminologies at the time, not from a doctor. I had the terminologies through my research. I was then dealing with, on top of these things, all happening at once, I was then dealing with tinnitus in the ears. And I mean massive tinnitus. That's when the ears are ringing nonstop, and I dealt with ringing in my ears nonstop for years, but this time it was super loud. Like I could barely function. Then I was dealing with fatigue. Then I was dealing with plantar fasciitis, however you say that. And then I was dealing with sciatica nerve damage. Like all of this just happened. I'm telling you, I'm sure I probably had some symptoms or was in such of a grind and such a focus because I'm a business owner, I'm a wife. I was in the thick of writing a book. So I'm sure my body was telling me something. I just didn't know how to listen to it outside of doing what the doctors tell me. And the doctors didn't tell me to do too much, to be honest with you. The doctors didn't do a thorough search to say, hey, you may want to watch out for this. Hey, you may want to be aware of that. It was more so about how I was able to escape some things that could have been detrimental to my life. Like a lot of things that I've gone through on a physical end um, could have taken me out of here, just to be honest with you guys. So the hypertension diagnosis was scary enough. I never in my life dealt with hypertension. Never. As a matter of fact, my PCP, she was shocked. She was like, "What is going on with you? Your blood pressure has never been high. What is going on with you?" And so there was no answer to that. It was just life and all the things that I was showing up for that must have eventually caught up with me. Some things was catching up with me even with writing my book because it's a memoir. So I was dealing with that. As a first-time author, I knew nothing about writing a book, you guys. And I tackled that with everything I could give, everything that I could learn, only to get to the manifestation of the book being in my hand. and in other people's hands. And then I was dealing with dizziness, and I was dealing with vertigo. All of this at the same time. Just, I mean, life was having a moment with your girl. And I was dealing with some digestive issues, like I was irregular, like having TMI, constipation, diarrhea. I didn't feel energetic. I was very tired and fatigued, and there were moments where I was highly debilitated because of my pains that I was dealing with the sciatica nerve damage and pain that was going all the way down my left leg mainly, but the pain was on both sides of my hips. And it was a lot going on. On top of that, you guys, and this is, just a little share. While everything was hitting me all at once, dealing with anxiety, dealing with PTSD, dealing with hypertension, dealing with all of these things that I just named, and I'm sure I'm missing something. My marriage was suffering to the point where I didn't know where I was going to end up in my marriage. Like, this was happening. When I tell you it was happening all at the same time, it was happening all at the same time. No breaks, no relief. Everything was just intense. Everything was just hitting me all at the same time. I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'm being redundant. I want to say this because it's very important. Please, as an individual, please take your health very seriously. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because nobody else is going to do it for you. And even if they did, they may do it too late, or they may do the wrong thing. Meaning they may make the wrong phone calls. And to people who are doing life together, please take a person's health seriously when they're letting you know, hey, I just went to the doctor. I just got this diagnosis. I'm trying to navigate through life. I'm trying to do life with individuals that I love. However, I am not okay. However, I am in a season that is scary to me. So you need people to pay attention, or should I say, you need people to have discernment and pay attention to such a degree that you don't have to carry your health alone. And I'm not talking about having people talk about your health while you're navigating through a healthy diet, while you're navigating through, improvements. I'm talking about while you're in a crisis. People may dumb down that you're in a crisis. I was going through so many mental issues, you guys, and that's not to say that I neglected mental health. It was just that life was happening so much. I was dealing with traumatic scenes that I never seen before. And if you want to know that information, I'll tell you. I had fur babies, as we call them, dogs. I had to put one down. I had to euthanize one in 2020. In September of 2020. She had to be euthanized. We were just trying to find our rhythm with the COVID pandemic. Right? So I had to deal with that, which I really didn't quite grieve that properly. And then the next thing happened. My second fur baby, which they were both Pomeranians. My second fur baby got killed, and I had to watch my fur baby in a very, very horrific scene soon after my first baby had to be euthanized. And so my second baby was killed, and I had to handle the scene myself, by myself. My husband was not at home, and I had to deal with that by myself with my own hands. So That's just to give you a snippet. That was just the beginning of seeing things with fur babies and dogs and bloody scenes and horror scenes. Like, that was just, those two instances were just the beginning. I would have said, you lying to me, if you would have warned me that, hey, you get ready to see more of this happening. On top of, I'm in a car with my husband one particular night. Never in my life have I been in any proximity of a showdown, okay? A shootout. A vehicle right in front of us while I'm first being diagnosed with hypertension, being diagnosed with PTSD. Then this happens. Somebody pulls a gun out on their driver's side and does a drive-by shooting. That's just to give y'all a glimpse. That's not even everything. So if I showed up in any capacity and you know me, and I showed up for your event, I showed up through a phone call, I showed up through a text message, I showed up at a church service, I showed up to support you in some manner, I'm here to tell you I was showing up when I had to show up for myself at the same time, and my marriage, because my marriage was on the rocks. So I said I was not going to put God in this conversation, because not because he's not worthy to be talked about. I just want to have a real human to human shared conversation to let you guys know that I have made some adjustments. I have done my research, and I am encouraging you to listen to your body. Take your body seriously. Do not let people let you down. As a matter of fact, you may need to get some blood work done like I did. Make sure you get intense blood work done. Make sure you get a full physical done. Make sure they know the history of your family. Make sure you can ask questions to family members, because maybe there's a connection there that you didn't know was there until you asked questions. So it's so important to put yourself first from time to time. That was one thing I was lacking. I didn't put myself first like I should have. I was putting everybody and everything first. And sometimes women, we can mean well, we can love hard, and then we're hurting ourselves in the mix. And this is something that I live by. Your body, it keeps score. So if you're suppressing anything, male or female, I'm here to encourage you that you're in an opportunity, and I'm carefully saying this. I'm not even trying to give advice right now. I just want to be transparent. But if you're in a place where you're suppressing, then I just want you to know, from me to you, that it's okay to find a counselor, a therapist, a pastor, someone that can listen to you and not rush you when you talk and let you process. So I'm in a better place. I'm working daily to make sure I don't let myself down. I had several scary moments in my life with my health that no doctors diagnosed before time. I had to be in a crisis before they even said, oh, this is what's going on. Some of us can't afford crisis. Some of us can't. And we really need the support. If you don't know how to support, just let people know that you will go the extra mile to make sure you're willing to make the phone calls, you're willing to go to the doctor's visits, whatever you can do in your capacity, because clearly we're all dealing with something. But some of us, we have dealt with things where it could have been the last of us, the death of us. Thank God for mercy. I hope something was said, you guys, just to let you know I am opening up my Pandora's box of transparency and my journey with you guys. And I just hope some way, somehow, it helps someone. Get your checkups, children and all. Get your checkups and make sure that you are being seen and heard.